Welcome back to Talk of the Town on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Welcome back to Talk of the Town for this Tuesday, September 6th. I'm Gary Stevens. First Tuesday of the month, we feel the zeal on WHTC's Talk of the Town. We spotlight the City of Zeeland. A little bit later on, we'll be joined by the Master Gardener, Jan Musen from the Bryan Seed, Washington Elm in downtown Zeeland. But first, we are joined via the Zoom connection with Zeeland Mayor Kevin Klynstra from his office at Zeeland City Hall. Kevin, good morning and welcome back to Talk of the Town.
Good morning, Gary, and welcome back to you as well. I'm glad to see you back.
Glad to be back and be able to chat with you. And if you have a question about what's going on in the City of Zeeland, you can ask Mayor Klynstra at 616-395-1450, 616-395-1450. Kevin, first of all, let's talk a little bit about yesterday, the 17th annual Holland Zeeland Community Labor Day Truck Parade. It rolled off from Herman Miller's headquarters on the east side of Zeeland through downtown Zeeland and downtown Holland into the Hearing of Holland Civic Center Place in the parking lot there. You, along with your colleague from Holland, Mayor Nathan Box, were on hand. Certainly a good time had by all in what has become indeed one of the staple events in our area.
Yeah, it's been going on quite a while. We talked about that yesterday when it got started, and I believe Mike Trethrui said it was the 2004 that it started on a small scale. So yeah, 18 years, and it seems to get a little bigger every year. People don't lose interest. Coming from Zeeland yesterday, I saw people lined up along the highway in different parking lots, and downtown Holland was busy, downtown Zeeland was busy. So yeah, it's a popular event.
Popular in terms of the trucks, but really the purpose of the event is to spotlight the goods and services made and produced here in our area and those who provide the goods and services for these companies. And certainly Zeeland has many fine companies. Obviously Herman Miller starting off the event, but you have what used to be known as the Johnson facility right across the street. You have the clocks, and you have Gentex as well. So a lot of good things in Zeeland that was spotlighted, as well as the Holland area manufacturers.
Yeah, I'm always amazed when Dan was reading off the introduction for each truck, and then he would give the amount of employees that were at each company, and it amazes me how many employees that some of these companies do employ. And yeah, you wouldn't think of it that Gentex over 5,000. Herman Miller is close to 5,000. Yeah, so we're very blessed in this area, and I say it at every Labor Day when I have to speak that this area is blessed to have great employees as well. It's one of the reasons why these companies locate here is because of the good workforce that we have in this area.
The other thing, too, Kevin, is the fact that these companies that have put down roots in our area, be it coming in or being founded in our area, just keep on deepening those roots more and more. Herman Miller is making some plans. I know Gentex has done some stuff. Again, I mentioned the Meade Johnson plant. I forgot what the name of the company is now, but they're not going anywhere. Howard Miller's not going anywhere. It just seems as if these companies really have understood how important this region is to them, and instead of maybe looking for greener pastures, they're saying maybe the best pastures are right here at home.
Yeah, I think you're right, Gary, that sometimes it does look greener on the other side of the fence, but we have to stay on our toes. These companies are getting recruited to go other places all the time, giving them good tax incentives, and so we have to do that as well. And we know how important they are to our economy in this area. And so, yeah, we have to stay on top of things to keep them in this area.
616-395-1450. If you have a question for Zeeland Mayor Kevin Klynstra, he'll be happy to answer it at 616-395-1450. That brings up a point, and we've discussed it with some of those Holland City Council members in the past, and I think we've discussed it with you as well. The issue of tax abatements, especially when a company looks to do some expansion, they look for tax abatements to be able to sort of ease the financial hit that they're going to take by making that expansion. There are some who say, well, tax abatements benefit only these companies, and it puts the pressure back on the taxpayers itself. But to be honest with you, the tax abatements may be necessary, but it really doesn't necessarily put all that burden on the taxpayers themselves.
No, you're right. And most of the time they're only for 12 years. And, Gentech's got a lot of help from the state and from the Zeeland Township and their last big the construction on Riley Street, which is in the Zeeland Township. So yeah, it helps. And people say, well, you're giving tax breaks to the rich. Well, not necessarily. When we give them tax breaks, they stay in the area. They give us employment for thousands of people, and they keep our economy chugging along.
Because of the Labor Day holiday, Kevin, no city council meeting yesterday, but the meeting is tonight, 6:30 work study session, 7 o'clock in council chambers at Zeeland City Hall. And one of the topics on the agenda for tonight dealing with the clean water plant. Tell us a little bit about what exactly is in mind based on some of the documents that are in the agenda for tonight's meeting.
It's just kind of basic something we needed to do to just to clean up the paperwork a little bit. Nothing too serious. So yeah, it shouldn't be too controversial of a vote tonight.
Reason why I brought it up is because behind us here at our studios in downtown Holland, we got the digester being put up at the water treatment plant, and they're starting to paint it. Yeah, great. Well, it's a municipal thing, but anyway, it's something that the Zeeland BPW has to deal with as a municipal utility, as just as the Holland BPW has to deal with water quality, and that's something that sometimes we take for granted, don't we?
Yes, I agree. You don't think about it too much, but everybody uses it every day, and companies, again, are some of the reasons they stay in this area, because it is something that gets done, and it needs to be done. So
let's get to a call. 616-395-1450. Good morning. You're on the line with Mayor Kevin Klynstra.
Good morning. I want to know, you're talking about tax abatements for companies to expand, and they're supposed to hire more employees. Now, does anybody ever check and see if these companies hire as many employees as they say they're going to do? Is there somebody that checks that out?
yeah, we review it in the city hall on a regular basis. So and when they get it from the state reviews it. So yeah, there is checking on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the call. 616-395-1450. And I would assume that that's part of the part of the process to get the abatement is that the accountability factor has to be taken in as well, because if these companies don't fulfill what they say they are going to do, hey, they're on the hook for putting that money back or making amends, so that abatement is just not a one-way street, is it?
That is correct. And there's other things in there. They have to stay up date on their taxes. They have to be on time. And they, while they have the abatement, they can't file an tax appeal. So it does have its advantage, something that we can hold over them and make sure they get everything paid on time.
616-395-1450. If you have a question for Zeeland Mayor Kevin Klynstra, 616-395-1450. Looking at some of the documents through the website. By the way, the website is cityofzeeland.com, where you can find out everything that's going on in Zeeland. I was looking at the minutes of the last work study session that was on the 15th of August, and I noticed that there is Zeeland's 175th anniversary event. We got an event coming up that's, a milestone year for the city of Zeeland coming up.
Yeah, that is a milestone event, Gary. It just seems like not too long ago that we celebrated 150th, and I remember very clearly the 125th. So yeah, time flies, but yeah, it's an important date in Zeeland's history. That it's hard to believe that we're 175 years old. But yeah, we're going to have the celebration the week of Pumpkin Fest. So they've been busy planning, and I have to give hats off to Rick Van Dort, our council person. He's the one that kind of got all of this going. Got his wife, Carrie, who works for the city in the marketing department, and Abby DeRue involved. And with them and a few other citizens in town, they got the planning started, and they figured it would be a good time to have it during Pumpkin Fest. So yeah, they've got lots of things planned, and hopefully we have great weather and things can go off as they planned.
By the way, our usual first Tuesday of the month conversation with Zeeland Mayor Kevin Klynstra will come the week of the 175th anniversary, and we'll probably have a complete schedule on that. But I'm just looking at some of the things that are planned. Large group activities will be located in and around Van Loyster Square within close proximity to the Settlers Monument. First Reformed and Second Reformed churches actively excited to help with the events. And the guided trolley tours will take place on Wednesday and Thursday, October 5th and 6th. There'll be some stuff involving with the Historical Society and, of course, Pumpkin Fest on the Friday and Saturday. And again, Kevin, we'll talk more about that in our next chat with you in the month of October. But indeed, this is going to be a big thing, and I'm going to throw an idea, and I don't know whether or not it's been talked about or what, but it used to be when you had events such as this, somebody would either dig up or plant a time capsule of maybe things went on or are going on so that it could be opened up later, or you open up one from years ago. Has that been thought of at all at Zeeland or not?
No, but that is an interesting thing. We did put one in the 125th year, so it might be interesting to see what we put in there 50 years ago and what was popular back then. And so yeah, I'll bring that up to the committee and see what they have to say. Maybe we could start a new time capsule for 50 years from now.
Yeah, the one thing about the way technology has grown, Kevin, is the fact that now you could throw some things in there that, all you have to do is open up a sheet of paper or something like that, and it's easy to read. But say if you put something in a time capsule from 25 years ago, which would be 1997 or so, and you put in, say, a video game. Well, you're going to have to put in the video player as well, because the technology of 25 years ago, it'll be antique. You just can't bring some of those back. But I'd be interesting to see if there is going to be one, and that would be a fun thing to see exactly what's Maybe we could talk to Caitlin Vermeers over at the Zeeland Historical Society. Maybe they have something in mind for that. Who knows? 616-395-1450. Again, 175 years of Zeeland, and it's the first week in October. And we'll be chatting with Mayor Kevin Klynstra about that a little bit more as we get closer to the event. In fact, the week of the event will be right in the middle of that. Good morning. You're on the line with Mayor Kevin Klynstra.
Good morning. I just have a comment about the time capsule. My son put something in there, but I don't know what. And he lives 180 miles from here, so I'm going to have to check with him and see what he put in the capsule 50 years ago.
We'll see if it's open. I appreciate the call. Thank you. 616-395-1450. It's almost like, you're opening up a box of surprises when you open up one of those things.
Yeah, I know. I was 16 years old 50 years ago. So, things have changed a lot. Technology has changed, like you said, Gary. So, it'd be interesting to see what was in there. I remember them burying it, but I did not see what they put in it.
616-395-1450. I do want to bring up one other thing that will be during tonight's scheduled Zeeland City Council meeting. Again, 6:30 for the work-study session, 7 o'clock for the meeting itself in council chambers at Zeeland City Hall. There will be a public hearing during the business meeting for a brownfield plan to redevelop the Sly building to become a Sly apartment building. GDP is involved with that as well. Ambitious, but I'll tell you right now, more housing, we'll take it, right?
That is correct. This area needs it because of our strong manufacturing presence. But yeah, that's just something that we're the GDK can recover some of their costs for some of the contamination that was on the site. And it's just a good thing for the contaminated sites to get cleaned up and be used again and be healthy for everyone.
Did you, I'm going to ask this off, maybe you can answer off the top of your head, maybe not, I'm not certain. Say, for example, hearing goes smooth and the brownfield plan is approved. Has GDK brought a time frame as to maybe when this conception of the Sly apartment building renovation could become a reality and we might see people starting to move in there?
From what I've heard is that they're pretty well done with the deconstruction, so they're tearing apart things. They're done tearing apart things, and they'll soon start putting back things together. So it looks like it might be towards the end of next year or early 2024 that they'll be complete and the people can start moving in. Yeah,
sometimes, it's nice to be able to have a concept. Hey, they're going to build this, and then, well, when is it going to come? It's one thing to have the concept. It's another thing for it to be reality. Pumpkin Fest, and with the 175th anniversary coming up, that'll be the beginning of October. But what things, perhaps in the month of September, should we be looking for in the City of Zeeland that people will be attracted to coming down to visit and feel the zeal, as they say?
We've got the Peddlers Market coming this coming Saturday, the 10th, I believe it is. So that's always a big attraction for people that like those kind of things. So hopefully, again, the weather is good. I believe there'll be some music to listen to if you're sick of shopping, and it's always a big event.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering about, again, some of the other things going on in Zeeland. Let's take one more call before we button up our segment. Good morning. You're on the line with Mayor Kevin Klynstra.
Good morning. What is the latest with the community restaurant building?
Yeah,
are they going to rebuild or what? Or don't you know?
I do not know that. It's been a question asked by many people in town. It did finally get cleaned up. and it's just a vacant piece of property right now. But they were kind of waiting to see if they could use the old foundation that was there with the old restaurant, and to see once how much money they would get from insurance companies. So I have not heard what is going to happen there.
All right, appreciate the call. Thank you very much, because we are done with this particular segment. Mayor Kevin Klynstra, as always, thank you very much for your time and telling us what's going on in Zeeland. Wish everybody there well. Hopefully the Peddlers Market works out well this coming weekend, and we look forward to chatting with you again next month as part of the 175th anniversary celebration of the City of Zeeland. Kevin, thank you very much.
Okay, Gary, thank you.